Most men lose the moment things go silent. They panic, they overthink, they reach out too fast. But silence is not your enemy. Silence is your power. Because when you stop chasing, when you stop reacting, when you remove your presence completely, you don't lose her. You trigger something much deeper. Today, you're going to understand how time works against her, and for you. Before we begin, the Stoic Tribe team is currently working on the Stoic Relationship Blueprint for Men course that's coming very soon. This will rebuild your mindset, your standards, and your relationships from the ground up, giving you total control over your emotions, your decisions, and your direction. It breaks down everything step by step in simple, practical ways so you can finally understand, apply, and live these principles permanently. No confusion, no guessing, just clarity and execution. If you're ready to become the man who never chases, never loses himself, and always moves with power, comment the blueprint right now. Number 1, she expects you to chase. When she pulls back, she already knows what most men will do, and that is exactly why she does it in the first place, because she has seen the pattern too many times to doubt it. She knows the moment her energy drops, you will start overthinking. You will replay every message, every word, every pause, trying to figure out where things changed. And instead of stepping back, you lean in harder. You send that extra message, then another. You try to be funny, you try to be understanding, you try to fix something that was never yours to fix. And the more you do that, the more you confirm her belief that your attention is easy to access and even easier to control. And this is where you lose without even realizing it, because you think effort creates attraction. But in this situation, effort without restraint only exposes dependency. She watches how quickly you react, how fast you respond, how emotionally invested you are in her behavior, and she does not respect that. She expects it because you are doing exactly what every other man before you has done, reacting instead of observing, chasing instead of stepping back, trying to secure her instead of securing yourself. And the moment she sees that nothing about you is grounded in self-control, she stops seeing you as someone she could lose and starts seeing you as someone who will always be there no matter how she behaves. And that removes all urgency from her side, because people do not value what is guaranteed. They value what has the potential to walk away. And you are showing her you will not walk away. You are showing her that her inconsistency does not cost her anything, and that is the real problem, because the moment your presence has no cost attached to it, your absence also has no weight, and that is why she continues. She delays replies. She becomes distant. She gives just enough to keep you engaged, but never enough to satisfy you. And you stay in that cycle hoping that if you just do a little more, say the right thing, act the right way, she will return to how she was in the beginning. But what you are actually doing is training her to give you less while you give her more. And that imbalance grows over time until you find yourself investing emotionally in someone who is slowly detaching while you are getting more attached. And the solution is not to outplay her or convince her to change. The solution is to stop participating in a dynamic that weakens your position. Because the moment you stop reacting instantly, the moment you stop rewarding distance with attention, the moment you pull your energy back and place it into your own life, your work, your discipline, your purpose, your growth, everything begins to shift, because now you are no longer operating from a place of fear of losing her. You are operating from a place of control over yourself, and that is what she did not expect. She expected the same script, the same reaction, the same predictable pattern, but instead she is faced with silence, with restraint, with a version of you that does not collapse when her behavior changes, and that forces her to rethink everything she assumed about you. And more importantly, it forces you to confront your own habits, because now you see clearly how quickly you used to give your attention away. how easily your mood was affected by her actions, how much control you handed over without even questioning it. And this is where growth begins, not when she comes back, but when you realize you no longer need to respond to every shift in her behavior. You no longer need to chase clarity from someone giving confusion. You no longer need to prove your worth through constant presence, because your value is not something that increases the more you give it away. It increases when it is controlled, directed, and protected. And once you understand that, you stop chasing, not because you are playing a role, but because you genuinely see no reason to pursue someone who is unsure about you. And that mindset alone changes everything about how you move, how you speak, how you respond, and how people perceive you, because now your actions are not driven by impulse, they are driven by discipline. And discipline is what separates a man who is constantly reacting from one who is always in control of himself. And that is exactly why the Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook for men exists, because it gives you the timeless principles you need to break out of these patterns and take full control of your mindset and your life starting immediately. It answers the questions you keep asking yourself in silence. Why do I react like this? Why do I lose control? Why do I keep ending up in the same situation? And it gives you clear, practical ways to fix it, step by step. It's now available in audiobook form, so you can absorb this knowledge while walking, training, or moving through your day, turning your time into growth instead of overthinking. The link is in the comments, and once you have it, it's yours permanently. Something you can return to again and again whenever you need to reset your focus and sharpen your discipline. This is not just a book, it is a shift in how you think, how you act, and how you carry yourself. And once you apply it, nothing about your life stays the same. Number 2, silence creates doubt. Silence is not empty. It is the one space where the truth has no distraction to hide behind. And when you remove your constant presence from her life, you remove the comfort she was relying on without even admitting it. Because as long as you were there, reacting, replying, engaging, she never had to question anything. She knew where you stood. She knew she could reach you. She knew your attention was available. And that certainty allowed her to behave however she wanted without consequence. But the moment you go quiet, not out of anger, not out of pettiness, but out of control and clarity, everything begins to change, because now she is left alone with her own thoughts, and thoughts without reassurance tend to move in one direction. They begin to question, they begin to analyze, they begin to revisit every moment where she assumed you would always be there. And what starts as a simple curiosity quickly turns into something deeper, because the human mind does not handle uncertainty. Well, it tries to fill the gaps, and when there is no response from you, no reaction, no signal, those gaps become larger. And she starts to wonder why you are not behaving like before, why you are not reaching out, why you are not trying to fix things. And that question slowly shifts from curiosity into doubt. And doubt is where her control begins to weaken, because now she is no longer certain about you. And when she is not certain, she cannot relax, she cannot assume, she cannot predict. And that unpredictability creates tension on her side. The same tension you used to experience when you were waiting for her reply, when you were trying to understand her distance, when you were questioning her interest. Now that pressure begins to move in the opposite direction. And this is not about making her uncomfortable for the sake of it. This is about removing the one thing that allowed her to take your presence for granted, your constant availability, because when something is always there, it becomes invisible. But when it is gone, it becomes noticeable. And when it stays gone, it becomes significant. And that significance is built over time, not through messages, but through absence, through consistency in your silence, through your refusal to break your own frame just because she decides to reappear with a small test. Because that is what she will do. She will send something simple, something safe, something that does not expose her but tests you. And if you respond the same way you used to, quickly, emotionally, eagerly, then everything resets and you return to the same position you were in before. But if you maintain your composure, if you respond with control or choose not to respond at all depending on the situation, then you reinforce the new reality, a reality where your attention is no longer easy to obtain, where your presence is not guaranteed, and where your focus is clearly placed on your own path, your own standards, your own direction. And this is where the deeper lesson unfolds. Because silence is not just something you use in this situation, it becomes a principle you carry into every part of your life. You learn to pause before reacting. You learn to observe before speaking. You learn to detach from outcomes that are not within your control, and instead, you place your energy into what you can control: your actions, your discipline, your growth, your environment. And this shift makes you stronger in ways that go far beyond this one situation, because now you are no longer someone who is easily moved by external behavior. You are grounded, stable, focused, and that stability becomes your advantage. Because people are drawn to what they cannot easily influence. And when she realizes that her usual patterns do not affect you the way they used to, when she sees that your silence is not weakness but control, not confusion but clarity, she begins to reassess everything, not just about you but about herself, about her assumptions, about her decisions, about the way she handled you, and whether she chooses to act on that realization or not is no longer your concern. Because by this point you are no longer waiting for an outcome, you are moving forward regardless, and that is the real power of silence. It does not just create doubt in her, it removes dependence in you. It forces you to build a mindset that is not shaken by someone else's inconsistency. It teaches you to operate from principle instead of impulse. And once that becomes your standard, you stop being someone who reacts to situations and start being someone who leads his own life without needing constant validation, without needing immediate answers, and without needing to chase anyone to feel secure in his position. Number 3, time builds pressure. Time is your greatest weapon, and the moment you understand that you stop trying to win moments and start controlling outcomes, because she is not reacting to what you say as much as she is reacting to what you consistently do over time. And when you remove your presence, you are not just disappearing, you are allowing time to do something that your words never could. You are allowing her to sit in the space where your attention used to exist, and at first she dismisses it because she believes she has seen this before. She assumes you will return. She assumes this is temporary. She assumes your silence is just another phase before you reach out again, and that assumption gives her comfort. But time slowly removes that comfort layer by layer, because each day that passes without you reaching out is a day where her certainty weakens. And when certainty weakens, the mind starts to search for answers. And when answers are not available, it creates its own. And those answers are rarely in your favor when you are chasing. But when you are absent, those answers begin to shift in a completely different direction. Because now she is forced to consider the possibility that you are no longer invested the same way. And that possibility is not something she can control. She cannot text you and guarantee a response. She cannot post something and be sure you are watching. She cannot rely on your consistency because you removed it. And that is where pressure begins to build. Not loudly, not dramatically, but slowly and persistently. Because pressure is not created through confrontation, it is created through absence combined with time. And the longer you maintain that absence, the more noticeable it becomes, because your presence used to be part of her routine. Whether she admitted it or not, she was used to your attention, your replies, your engagement, your availability. And once that routine is broken, there is a gap, and people always notice what disrupts their routine, even if they act like they do not care, because routine creates comfort, and comfort creates dependency. And when that is removed, the mind starts to adjust. And during that adjustment, it begins to evaluate. It starts to compare how things were when you were present to how things are now that you are gone. And that comparison does not happen in your control. It happens in her own thoughts, without your influence, without your explanation, without your effort. And that is what makes it powerful, because you are no longer trying to convince her of your value. You are allowing her to discover the absence of it. And discovering something on your own always carries more weight than being told. And this is where most people fail, because they interrupt this process. They do not allow time to fully apply pressure. They break their silence too early. They reach out when they start to get uncomfortable. They look for reassurance instead of staying grounded. And by doing that, they remove the very pressure that was working in their favor. They reset the dynamic back to what it was before. And then they wonder why nothing changes, because they are not giving time the opportunity to shift the situation. They are interfering with it, and the solution is simple but not easy. You stay consistent in your absence. You do not act based on temporary emotion. You do not respond just because you are used to responding. You step back and you observe, and more importantly, you redirect your energy into areas that actually build you. Because time alone is not enough if you are sitting there doing nothing. Time works best when you are improving while you are absent, when you are focusing on your physical discipline, your mental clarity, your financial direction, your purpose, your environment, your habits, your routine, because now you are not just removing yourself from a situation that drains you. You are actively building a version of yourself that does not depend on it. And that changes how you show up in every interaction moving forward, because now you are not waiting for someone to decide your value. You are defining it through your actions. And when she eventually notices that you have not only stayed away, but also moved forward, when she sees that your life did not pause, that your energy did not collapse, that your focus did not weaken, that your direction did not change, that is when the pressure reaches a different level, because now it is not just about your absence, it is about what your absence represents. It represents self-control, it represents discipline, it represents standards, and most importantly, it represents the fact that you are not easily replaced or easily controlled, and that realization is not something she can ignore forever, because people respect what they cannot easily manipulate. And when she realizes that her behavior did not get the reaction she expected, when she sees that time did not bring you back, but instead pushed you further into your own path, that is when she begins to reassess everything, not because you told her to, not because you forced it, but because time applied pressure in a way that no conversation ever could. And at that point, whether she comes back or not is no longer the focus, because you have already shifted your mindset. You have already built a foundation that is not dependent on her actions. You have already proven to yourself that you can step away and still move forward. And that is the real transformation, because you stop being someone who reacts to situations and start being someone who uses them as a reason to grow. And once you reach that point, time is no longer something you fear losing. It becomes something you use to your advantage, because you understand that the longer you stay disciplined, the more everything aligns in your favor, not just in this situation, but in every area of your life where consistency and control determine the outcome. Number 4, she tests your weakness. At some point, she will test you, and it will not come in a way that is obvious or honest. It will come in a way that looks small, harmless, even casual, because she is not trying to give you clarity. She is trying to measure your position without exposing hers, and that is where most men lose everything they gained, because they mistake attention for intention. They see a simple message and immediately assume it means something deeper, when in reality it is just a probe to see if you are still available, still responsive, still emotionally invested. and she knows exactly how to do this without giving you anything real. She sends a "hey," a reaction to your story, a random question that has no depth, something that keeps her safe while putting you in a position to reveal yourself. And the moment you respond with enthusiasm, speed, or emotional weight, you answer the question she is asking without her having to say it. You confirm that she still has access to you. And once that is confirmed, the dynamic goes right back to where it was, because she did not come back to build anything. She came back to check control, and control is what she values in this moment. Not connection, not consistency, not growth, just control. And if you hand it back easily, then nothing changes. You simply return to being an option that she can step in and out of whenever she chooses. And this is why discipline in this phase is more important than anything you did before, because now you are being tested at a higher level, not when she is distant, but when she reappears, because distance is easy to handle when you commit to silence, but presence requires awareness. It requires you to read the situation without letting your old habits take over. It requires you to slow down, to pause, to think before you respond, to ask yourself what she is actually offering and whether it aligns with your standards. Because if she is not bringing clarity, effort, and direct intention, then she is not offering anything that deserves your energy. And you need to accept that without trying to reinterpret her actions into something more meaningful just because you want it to be. Because that is where self-deception begins, and self-deception is what keeps you stuck in cycles that never benefit you. You start justifying her behavior. You start telling yourself she is just being careful, or she is unsure, or she needs time, when in reality she is doing exactly what her actions show. She is testing without committing. She is checking without investing. And once you see that clearly, you stop reacting emotionally and start responding strategically. And sometimes that means not responding at all, because silence in this moment is not weakness, it is control. It is you refusing to engage in something that does not meet your standards. It is you showing through action that your attention is not given based on curiosity alone. It is given based on consistency and effort. And when she does not receive the response she expected, when she does not get that instant engagement, when she sees that her small test did not move you, that is when the situation becomes real for her. Because now she cannot rely on the same patterns. Now she cannot assume you will respond the same way. Now she has to decide whether she is willing to step up or step away. And that decision reveals everything, because if she truly sees value in you, she will increase her effort. She will become more direct. She will communicate with intention. She will make it clear that she is not just passing through. But if she does not do that, if she continues with vague messages and low-effort attempts, then you already have your answer. And the answer is not something you need to argue with or try to change. It is something you accept and move forward from, because your focus is not on fixing her behavior. Your focus is on maintaining your standards. And maintaining your standards requires you to stay grounded even when she reappears, even when part of you wants to respond, even when your old habits try to pull you back into the same pattern, because growth is not tested when things are quiet. It is tested when the opportunity to go back presents itself and you choose not to take it. And that choice is what builds your identity. It is what separates who you were from who you are becoming. Because now you are not someone who reacts out of impulse. You are someone who acts based on principle. You are someone who understands that attention is valuable and should not be given freely to someone who has not earned it through consistent behavior. And once you operate from that level, you stop being affected by small actions. You stop being pulled into situations that do not serve you. You stop giving energy to people who are unsure about you, and instead you place your focus on building a life that does not revolve around someone else's inconsistency, and that is where your power truly solidifies. Not in whether she comes back or not, but in the fact that when she does, you are no longer the same person who was waiting. You are someone who evaluates, someone who chooses, someone who can walk away again without hesitation. And that is the position you want to be in, because it is the only position where you are fully in control of your direction, your time, and your energy. Number 5. Detachment makes you unreachable. The moment you stop needing her, everything about your life starts to change, because you are no longer operating from a place where her attention controls your state, your mood, your focus, your direction. And that shift is not something you fake. It is something you build through discipline, through repeated decisions, where you choose yourself over impulse, where you choose growth over distraction, where you choose silence over reaction. Because detachment is not about acting cold, it is about removing dependence. It is about understanding that your stability cannot be tied to someone who is inconsistent, someone who disappears, someone who tests instead of commits. And once you accept that fully, you stop chasing answers from her and start creating results in your own life. You stop waiting for her messages and start building routines that move you forward. You stop checking your phone and start checking your progress, your habits, your goals, your standards. And that is where real control begins, because now your time is no longer being consumed by someone else's uncertainty. It is being invested into things that compound: your health, your finances, your mindset, your environment, your discipline. And that investment pays you back in ways that attention from her never could, because attention is temporary, but growth is permanent. And once you experience that shift, you start to see her behavior differently. You no longer interpret her distance as something you need to fix. You see it as information. You see it as a signal that tells you exactly where she stands without needing her to say it, and that clarity removes confusion. It removes the need to analyze every detail. It removes the habit of overthinking, because you are no longer trying to decode her. You are simply observing and deciding whether her actions align with your standards. And if they do not, you step back without hesitation, without drama, without trying to change her. Because you understand that your role is not to convince someone to value you. Your role is to maintain a position where only those who naturally respect your standards remain in your life. And that mindset makes you unreachable in the best way possible. Not because you are avoiding connection, but because you are filtering it. You are no longer available to inconsistency, to mixed signals, to half-effort, to situations where you are expected to give more than you receive. And that changes how women respond to you, because now they sense that your attention is not easy to get. They sense that you are grounded, that you are focused, that you are not looking for validation. And people are always drawn to what they cannot easily influence. But here is the part: most do not want to accept. Detachment means you are genuinely okay with her not coming back. It means you are not using silence as a strategy to get her attention. You are using it as a principle to protect your own. And that is what makes it powerful, because there is no hidden expectation behind your actions. There is no waiting, no hoping, no quiet desperation. There is only direction, and that direction is forward, always forward, regardless of what she does. And that forces you to build a life that stands on its own, a life that is not dependent on one person's presence, a life where your sense of worth is not decided by how someone treats you, but by how you treat yourself, by the standards you hold, by the discipline you maintain, by the consistency you apply. And once you reach that point, you stop seeing her as the prize. You start seeing yourself as the foundation, and everything else becomes an addition, not a necessity. And that is when your presence becomes different. Because now you are not trying to impress. You are not trying to secure. You are not trying to prove. You are simply being, and being grounded in who you are is what creates real attraction. Not forced effort, not constant communication, not overexposure, but control, restraint, clarity, and direction. And when she sees that you are no longer reacting, no longer chasing, no longer available on demand, She starts to question her previous assumptions. She starts to reconsider how she handled you. She starts to notice that you are not like the others who remained easy to access. But by the time that realization happens, you are already in a different place mentally. You are already detached from the outcome. You are already focused on your own path. And that is why detachment is the final level, because it frees you from the cycle completely. It removes the need to play any game. It removes the need to monitor her behavior. It removes the need to wait for anything. You simply move, you build, you improve, you elevate, and anyone who wants to be part of. Your life has to meet you at that level, not through words, but through consistent action. And if they cannot do that, then they remove themselves without you needing to intervene. And that is the ultimate position to be in, where your life continues to expand regardless of who stays or leaves, where your focus remains intact regardless of external changes, where your identity is built on discipline rather than attention. And once you reach that state, you realize something that changes everything. The real power was never in making her come back. It was in becoming someone who does not need her to. Most people will never hear this truth, because a distracted, reactive man is easier to control than a disciplined one who thinks for himself and moves with purpose. If you're ready to break that cycle and take your power back, grab the Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook for men, filled with timeless principles that will transform your life immediately and give you the clarity most will never have. It's now available in audiobook form, so you can build your mindset while walking, training, or moving through your day instead of wasting time stuck in your head. And it's linked in the comments. Comment, "I choose strength," if you're ready to step into that version of yourself. Then like this video and subscribe so more men can find these truths and avoid years of regret. The moment you decide to apply this knowledge is the moment your life stops being controlled by others and starts being directed by you.